In this video, I take a dive into the cavern zone of Little River Springs, located near O'Brien, Florida. As a backstory, my first exposure to Little River Springs was in cave diving pioneer Chuck Agsley's book, Caverns Measureless to Man. As a reminder, don't attempt to enter caves without training. I don't venture past the Grim Reaper sign, which signifies the beginning of the cave system. If you want to see a great video of the Little River Springs cave system, check in the description for a link to Jonathan Bird's Blue World episode on Little River. The water here is several feet higher, probably in the range of 3 to 4 feet higher in total. And entering into the cavern here, I could already feel quite a outflow coming from Little River. Again, this is likely tied to the heightened water level in the river. I made sure to turn on my lights as I was entering into the cavern. I just wanted to make sure that I had my primary on and also my handheld, which is actually more powerful than my primary video light. And I carried spares with me, just in case anything were to fail. It was very prudent to have extra lights, even though I was only entering into the cavern zone. Entering into the cavern, there's a few places on the left and right as I enter that were out of the flow and provided some relief from the flow. I wasn't quite expecting it to be so powerful, so I definitely had to catch my breath at a couple moments. It was interesting to turn around and just watch all the particles and sand and other grits and organisms being pushed out. Just very different than what I was used to in other Florida springs and freshwater basins in general. Other cool features included pockets that had been cut out by erosion. And these pockets, and you can see here there's a blue catfish swimming and using them, provide shelter for many of the fish that live within this system. Just around the corner and to the left, that's where the permanent guideline begins, and slightly past that is the Grim Reaper sign. And both are in view now. You can see just to the top of the screen is the Grim Reaper sign, and below it was a guideline that's permanently attached to a brick that's at the bottom. Here I am, just flipping the camera around and showing just the flow that's coming out of the cave system. It's just whipping the bubbles right out of my regulator across my face and up and towards the surface. Something that you typically see in like a drift dive. I was trying to remain neutrally buoyant this whole dive so as not to disturb anything, but even that was difficult with the current or flow coming out of the cave system. It's just pushing you at any opportunity it gets. Absolutely incredible though. Not something that you'd experience all the time, but definitely very unique. In terms of penetration of the cavern and cave in general, this was really as far as I got. Didn't move past the Grim Reaper sign, as that was the end of the cavern zone and beginning of the cave. I turned my lights off at one point in this video, and we'll check that out later, but you can definitely still see the light beaming in. It's a nice relief to know that it's there, just in case your lights fail. You can still find your way out. And here it is where I put one of the lights down, or at least dimmed it, and that's what you see, just this beautiful light streaming in from above. This is one of these pockets that I referred to earlier in the video where it's kind of out of the flow. I kicked up some sand there just to show that it would get sucked back and out immediately right away. As I was beginning my exit of the cavern, I was startled by these catfish, which I noticed in the corner of my eye, so I began to point my lights towards them and caught a glimpse. I believe that they're blind, and I'm sure that some experts or seasoned divers could chime in on this as well, but they seem to be bumping into everything. And the fish here, just under the tree at the entrance, They're definitely not blind. They're just right out of the river. Here's another one of those catfish. And while I believe that they're blind, they definitely can sense your presence as well. When I'd move towards them, they would move away, and if I shine my lights towards them, they definitely notice that too. So they may be partially blind, or have another way of sensing your presence, at least like most fish do, like the lateral line. It was nice having access to the Poseidon jet stream since they have a side diaphragm that isn't exactly in the front, and it's also very well covered. So I didn't really have to worry about the flow or any current depressing on the diaphragm and leading to a free flow or a purge action. It was wonderful going to Little River at the end of February, as I had almost exclusive access to the spring. There was nobody there with me. It was great. Water was calm as glass. Exiting the cavern, something caught my eye, and it was this guy right here, buried in the sand. I thought it was a flounder of some sort, but I couldn't be sure, and after checking, it's what's known as a hog choker flounder, commonly found in brackish waters. I was not disappointed after visiting Little River Springs and exploring the cavern zone. I definitely want to head back after getting proper training in cave diving so I can explore the rest of the cave system. It was absolutely wonderful, and I'm very grateful that I had the opportunity to dive it. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll have more episodes like this very soon as I go through some of the videos that I've collected from my travels, both in the US and Canada and internationally. Hope to see you guys soon, and if you need anything, make sure to reach out to my Instagram account, pioneer.scuba. I'd be happy to talk about anything diving related or equipment related and provide any help I can. Thanks again.